guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is a pretty hefty book haul. I don't know why I kept putting it off, but now it's like a huge stack. So I just needed to sit down and just do it. All of these books will be from like $1 to $2. I don't really spend too much on books. I like to thrift my books. So that is what I spent for basically all of these, except for two. This one, Until the Mountains Fall by Connilyn Cossette, which is the third book in the Cities of Refuge series. This one I won from a Just Read Tours giveaway on Instagram. So that is so cool. I don't know anything really about it. I know Connilyn Cossette is fairly popular in the Christian fiction world, and I know a lot of people on YouTube like her, but I've never read any of her books before. I think it's historical fiction in the biblical times. I don't know if it is any biblical characters. I'm not sure. I will have to find that out. But yeah, I have just flipped through, and it does look like it's in first person, which you know is a problem for me. So I'm going to have to find this one on audiobook to actually read it. But that one was super cool that I actually won a giveaway. The second one that doesn't fit into the $1 to $2 category here is the Screwtape Letters by C.S.Lewis. We went to the States. We live in Canada, so we drove to the States a couple months back, and when I was at Hobby Lobby, I decided to pick this book up because it is one of my favorites. And yeah, so I bought this one, Screwtape Letters by C.S.Lewis, and then wouldn't you know it, that same trip, we stopped in at a thrift store, and I found it thrifted. So I have two copies now, one to keep and one to give away if anybody ever shows interest and I think that they would benefit from it. Then I will give this one away. So the next one is another C.S. Lewis. It is Mere Christianity, which is another one of my favorites. This one I listened to on audiobook, so I haven't actually ever read the physical copy of it. And the concepts in here are pretty deep, so I'm excited to read through the physical copy so that I can like highlight stuff. Okay, the next one, we'll go with this one. Private Justice by Terri Blackstock. This is, I believe, the new .911 series. I think it's a series, but yeah, sounds at a thrift store. Thought I'd give it a shot. I have heard of Terri Blackstock before, but I've never read any of her books, so I guess we will have to see. Next one, also thrifted. These are all thrifted. I'm not going to say that every time. This one is The Church Builder by A.L. Shields. Never heard of this book, never heard of the author, but it is categorized as Christian suspense fiction, and so I thought, why not give it a shot? No idea what that one's about, by the way. Kristen Heitzmann, The Edge of Recall. I have never read this book, but I do actually own a trilogy from Kristen Heitzmann that I really, really like. So yeah, I saw this and I thought I'd pick it up. Don't know what it's about or anything, but I just saw the author's name and I thought, probably gonna be a good one. This one, Gilbert Morris, A Conspiracy of Ravens, a Lady Trent mystery. Again, I'm familiar with Gilbert Morris's name, but I've never read anything by him. And the cover looked pretty cool. So picked it up basically as a cover buy and knowing that it was Christian historical fiction. I'm down to try that. This one, Sketchy Behavior by Erynn Mangnum. This one actually stood out to me because I know that Lindsay at the blog Books for Christian Girls, I know that she really loves Erynn Mangnum, and I think this might be one of her favorite books. I think. I will leave her channel link down below. But yes, this one is also in first person, so I don't know what I will do about that. I'll probably have to find it on audiobook. But yeah, I saw this, thought of her, thought I would try it. It's always fun to try other people's favorites. So this one, The Shoemaker's Wife, funny enough, one of my friends had just finished reading this one and recommended it to me, thinking that I might enjoy it. And then I saw it at the thrift store, so I was like, yeah, I don't believe it is a Christian author or anything, but based on the recommendation of my friend, I thought I would give it a shot, and again, it was super cheap. And by the way, like, first of all, this spine, wow, I love it. And just the artwork and stuff on the cover is really neat. The next one, Death by the Book by Juliann. I have seen this series kind of floating around in the book world, and just the art style of the covers, they just really interest me. So I was kind of trying to get into like the mystery, crime, suspense genre a little bit, and knowing that these books, the A Drew Farthering Mystery, knowing that that series is written by a Christian author, I wanted to try this one. So I, again, don't know what any of these books are about, but try it out. The next one is twofold because I actually found books 1 and 2 of a series. I don't know if this is a duology or if there is more books in this series and there was just only the 2 at the thrift store. I have no idea. I'll have to look into it. But it is the King Raven, oh, there we go, King Raven trilogy. So there's a third book that I will have to get my hands on. And honestly, I saw Christian author, I saw the covers, I saw Hood, so I was thinking Robin Hood, and then on the back it says Robin Hood, the legend begins anew. So I'm wondering if it's kind of like a retelling. So that is super interesting. I've vaguely heard of Stephen R. Lawhead before, vaguely, but yeah, these ones intrigue me quite a bit. Again, I told you this was a big haul. So this one is Prophet by R.J. Larson. This is supposed to be a fantasy, Christian fantasy. To me, this looks like, I don't know, like historical. So I don't know if it's like a historical fantasy combination. I have no idea. But yeah, the cover intrigued me. And again, it is published by Bethany House, and that's a Christian publisher. So I felt like that would be a pretty good choice. So the next one is kind of cool because I recently read this one and it was in one of my wrap-ups. I think possibly June. I think. Anyway, The Ringmaster's Wife by Kristy Cambron, who is becoming one of the authors that I really look out for. And I found this one at the thrift store, so I was like, yes please, because I really liked this one. I think I give this one a 4-star. The next two, again, twofold, because this is a series by Melanie Dickerson. I don't even know if the series has a name or whatever, but it's her fairy tale retellings. I have the Snow White fairy tale retelling. I don't actually remember what that one's called. But, so The Healer's Apprentice and The Princess Spy. These two, because I really liked the other retelling that I have already, I saw these two and I was like, yes, awesome. I can finally continue reading this series because I really liked that other one. So yeah, pretty excited about these. And I know that Melanie Dickerson is a really good author, so. Next up, this one is another Christian living book. It is not fiction or anything. The Ragamuffin Gospel by Brennan Manning, forwarded by Michael W. Smith, testimony by Rich Mullins. So there's some pretty famous names there. I don't actually know anything about this book. I used to work in a Christian bookstore, and at that time this book was quite new and it was getting a lot of praise. So I'm just going based off that and based off like Libby Smith's involvement in this book, I guess. See what it is. Have any of you guys read this one? And lastly, I have 3 mass market paperbacks. Okay, so I have here The Hobbit and the Fellowship of the Ring. Yes, I already own these ones. That's not the point. The point is, these are such vintage covers. Like, so cool. I absolutely love these. And I guess I should hold them this way. Whatever. And I think this might be a series that I potentially will collect. Varying cover designs. Depends. I know I really was drawn to these, and they weren't $2.50. These are like cover prices from back in the day. They were much cheaper than that. But let me see if I can find a date in here. 1976. That is so cool. I mean, it's not like ultra old or anything, but still, I couldn't pass them up. They were just way too cool looking. And the last one, mass market paperback, is Brent Weeks' The Way of Shadows, which is the first one in the Night Angel trilogy. I still have not read any Brent Weeks yet. I do want to start with the Black Prism series before I get into this one, but I have seen this one on BookTube a little bit, and just knowing that I want to try Brent Weeks out, I thought I would give this one a shot. And it's the first book in the series, so it's not like the third one where it makes it complicating that you have to find books 1 and 2 first. Anyway, yeah, pretty excited. Look at my haul. It's so awesome. So yeah, let me know if you've read any of these, what you think of any of them, and we will continue chatting in the next video.